Harrison of late. Well, Nico doubled down, addressing the elephant in the room regarding the Luka Doncic trade, where only Dallas-based reporters were present to ask questions and did not include cameras or voice recording equipment. Interesting. Quote, "There's no regrets on the trade. Part of my job is to do the best thing for the Mavericks, not only today, but also in the future. And some of the decisions I'm going to make are going to be unpopular. That's my job, and I have to stand by it." He also said later, "But our philosophy, like I said, going forward is defense wins championships, and we're built on defense. And this trade cements us for that." All right, Stephen A., coming to you on this. Do you like, love, or hate Nico's presser?
I hate it. First of all, what the hell is that about? No cameras? No tape recorders?
They did allow tape recorders after they got in the room, just for clarity.
So they allowed it when they got in the room?
They negotiated at the end, just
negotiated at the end.
You can win negotiations with Nico Harrison, apparently.
I'm just saying, you walk into, you got a press conference, good line, Wendy, good line. But you're having a conference with the media, and they have to negotiate to have tape recorders in. I mean, that just shows you how paranoia has kicked in. Here's the bottom line. We'll see how well this trade works. If everybody was on the floor, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Gafford, Lively, and these cats, of course, I think they're right in the mix and they're potentially competing for a championship. I'm not going to dismiss that. I think Nico is right when he says that. But the point is, knowing that's not the case, knowing that they were they were chanting to fire you, okay, knowing how Luka looked when he came into your house, okay? How anemic Anthony Davis looked while Luka was dropping 45 on that basketball court in Dallas. It might behoove you not to talk at all. Just let the whole damn season end, because there's nothing that you can do to explain it, because as you highlighted, the real malpractice of all of this isn't even about just Luka being gone. It's about the fact that you didn't get a first-round pick in return. Now, we're looking at the New York Knicks, and we're wondering about their future because the Nets got 4 unprotected first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, okay, and 5 overall, but 4 unprotected.
Right.
So I'm like, wait a minute, you couldn't get one? You didn't get Austin Reeves, like you pointed out. So you got Max Christie instead of Austin Reeves. You didn't get, you didn't give up, really anything. And you got it, but you gave up Luka and you didn't get anything in return other than really Anthony Davis. That's what people are looking at. And when that happens, you don't have a press conference right now to talk about it. You just don't. You shut up and you go home. That's what you do. Do your exit interviews when the season's over.
100%, Steve. Manufactured press conferences only work in small, rinky-dink towns, and Dallas isn't that. That's a horrendous job. You're trying to control the message. Come on. I mean, listen, he made a horrific trade, but he didn't make the trade. The owners made the trade. They didn't want to pay him $312 million. And so in the summer with the extension. So as a result, he's got to do the bidding for the owner, and he's got to try to convince you that, defense wins championships. For crying out loud, how do you make a comment like that when Luka last year took you to the NBA Final, for crying out loud, against the Celtics, and he played great? So that's absurd to make a comment like that. He's making it worse by trying to justify the trade. As you said, he shouldn't say anything at all. He shouldn't basically tell the media what they can and cannot do as far as the press conference is concerned. Monitor questions. It's ridiculous. Bottom line is this. The owner said, you know what, I don't want him on the team. I'm not paying him $312 million. He's not in shape. Whatever the reasons, get him out of here, Nico. Figure it out. Get him out. Whatever you have to do, get him out of here. And Nico's got to be the fall guy. I mean, that's what happened. So the owner takes the hit more than Nico, but Nico's getting paid a fortune. So he's got to be the guinea pig, and and then he makes it worse by A, making a bad trade. Excellent point, Austin Reeves. And number 2, well, let's do a press conference to finally clear the air, but we're going to do it our way. No cameras, as you just said. Well, let only the local media, come on, ask the questions, and we'll also figure out what questions you can ask. Dallas comes across here as a very shaky and a small-time organization, and this is Dallas, Texas. That's a joke. Down on it.
A couple
Wendy?
things. First off, I'll tell you why I did the press conference, Stephen A. Our Tim McMahon, who's all over this story, reported he was asked to do the press conference by the owner. And I suspect, this I don't know, I suspect the reason he didn't want cameras there was because he knew he was going to say he had no regrets, and he didn't necessarily want that on film forevermore. But I don't know that, but I speculate that. What has happened here is kind of fascinating, if you can take a step back. The Dallas Mavericks have been dealt a horrible piece of misfortune in Kyrie Irving tearing his ACL. That would engender sympathy from everybody. Every team in this league, if their star point guard, whatever their plan is, whether it was the most beautiful plan in the history of the sport, if your star point guard tore his ACL, especially a guy who had earned the admiration of people with the way he had played the last 2 years and the way he was a leader, Kyrie Irving, that would get you sympathy. That would buy you time. That would buy you an understanding that this is not going to be on. Zero. There's none of it for the Mavericks. The truth is, even if they didn't trade Luka, even if they had done all this stuff, they would be in some level of trouble here because of this Kyrie Irving injury. But what yesterday illustrated was that they got credit for nothing, the fact that they've had this devastating injury come out. And the other thing is, some of the stuff that he said in this was just downright befuddling. For example, he said that we showed that we could be I don't think exactly how he said it, but he said we showed what kind of team we could be for the 2.5 quarters that Anthony Davis played.
Wow.
2.5 quarters?
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
that makes no sense.
He should have turned the microphones off for that.
Exactly.
You should have said.
The other thing is that I'm glad you reminded us, or you informed us, that ownership made him do that. Because, again, he has to go out front and he has to put a positive spin because he's trying to sell the future of the franchise.
I say, sorry to cut you off. I got to hit the top of the hour here, guys. Windy, great job on that one, by the way. Coming up, Steph Curry.
No, I disagree with this fully. This guy led the Mavs last year to the finals. Granted, they didn't win, but they ran into a juggernaut of the Boston Celtics, and they were completely outmatched. But Luka's style, and we'll see, by the way, the dude's 26 years old. He is going to be around for a really long time. I think he makes everyone around him better. Look at what he's done for Austin Reeves since he's been there. Everyone can agree. I think his numbers were going to go down. He comes. He's very passive. He blesses, big five rim runners with lobs consistently. I think he is the perfect player to go and win a championship with. So I disagree.
He was just in the finals last year.
It's true.
He was just in the finals. That's championship basketball now.
They won the West last year.
They really did. It's how they got to the finals, they said.
They won. That was pretty good.
Now Luka could do himself some favors and just. You don't expect him to be a lockdown defender, but just be in the right positions, be in the right places. That'll help your team get over that hump of trying to get that elusive championship. But to me, that's championship basketball. If you see somebody that's a year removed from the NBA Finals, I don't understand it.
You know what? 5 years from now, if he doesn't have a ring, we could revisit this.
Sure.
But it feels a little premature at the moment. Lou, Jeff Teague's taking James Harden and Kawhi over Luka and LeBron as a duo. Are you buying that?
I can buy that. I can understand why he would see it that way. Kawhi Leonard is one of the best players in the world when healthy. When he's standing on 2 feet, everybody knows the impact that he has on the ball on defense, and everybody knows that he can go out and get a bucket on offense. And then we don't have to go over what James Harden brings to the table. We don't have to go over what LeBron and Luka bring to the table. But out of all 4 of these guys, it's one person that sets himself apart from everybody else, and that's Kawhi. Kawhi and what he's able to do on the defensive end. If you're talking about a 2-on-2 matchup with everybody healthy and ready to go at all times, I can understand what Jeff Teague is seeing with these matchups. So I'll buy that.
Okay, so because Kawhi, we all think 2019 Kawhi, right? Which I have no issue with because he appears to be looking that way right now. But so Kawhi's better than both LeBron and Luka?
Right now?
Yeah, of course.
I don't
Neither
think so.
or both or
Again,
one?
this is a weird one because it's like no matter what I say, it's going to be disrespectful to the other. Again, this is.
And he hadn't played the whole season. Like we're not gonna do that. But
I guess we're gonna find out in here.
Yeah, we'll see soon. But again, I like. In a 2-on-2 matchup,
there you go.
If that's what we're saying,
sure.
That duo is just as dangerous as the duo that they're going against. And so if there's one thing that can set somebody apart to give them an advantage, it's going to be the way that Kawhi plays defense.
I'm actually interested in this could be a 2-on-2.
It'd be an awesome 2-on-2. It'd be an awesome 2-on-2.
Chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng tay vòng của ta. Vòng hôm nay của mình sẽ có tiêu đề là quả lê. Mọi người hôm nay vòng của mình sẽ có tiêu đề là quả bưởi. Bây giờ mình bắt đầu làm nha. Sao tự nhiên hôm nay xếp máy đẹp thế nhỉ? tệ lắm gì được em.
Khi mới quay nghe phản chiếu nghe từ kia lúc về.
Đầu tiên là màu hồng nha.
Nó dạ là mà thì con đi chơi hai một kia.
Từ xin lỗi.
Đây xong cái này chị anh gửi để cái mã đi ra.
Nãy là ta trả 50.000 với lại 30.000 hôm trước được để cho ăn kẹo trả tiền chèm mà.
Anh nghe kẹo là của cả lũ mà.
Thì đấy thì sao ta mới bảo chị anh là thôi chị anh chuyển trả cho thằng Long
30.000
thì 50.000 thì ta trả.
Anh kẹo cuối tháng. Thì 30.000 đấy mua bữa bao nhiêu mỏng ăn đấy có ít đâu mà. Không mà anh
Đừng mua để tiền đi. Mọi người ơi, mình sổ màu xanh nhá. Để tiền đi cho ta giảm cân cái, đừng ăn.
Hỏi chấm. Xong lúc mày dày rồi xong lúc mà ta mài lúc ấy là còn kiểu nhiều tiền đấy này. Xong mài liên tục thì sao? Mài cứ kéo lại thôi tiếp tục lên thành gì cũ. Kêu mình dục nó chứ. Rồi, bà Quỳnh thôi.
Cái kiểu anh là béo hết con người. Mọi người ơi, đi hai màu nhá. Hai màu nhá.
Cái này nói tâm có dài. Hai chồng với bà ấy. Kia nó được rồi. Kia nó được rồi. Kia nó lên luôn. Ai bỏ cứ gì? Đúng rồi. Đấy, anh kia rút kẹo từ sao cái máy 1, 2, 3, 4 này nè. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my god. Ôi nhếp bên rồi. Điệt thôi là mẹ điệt là điệt đó. Điệt rồi, chú giờ sao rồi đây? Chưa được.
Anh ơi đây. 3 màu đây, 3 màu.
Chưa được. Chưa. Chưa. Chưa.
Đúng.
Đây không phải không? Đây nè, thằng bạn như này, nhìn. À đây đúng không? Anh đẩy này ra thôi, chỉ để bút lên rồi. Đấy để mà nó không rồi đây này. Biết ơn gió mang yêu thương. Đang làm. Ấy được ok. Di chuyển thôi nhé. Chưa đủ.